Hey, how's it going? Welcome to the live stream and welcome to the shop. Hope y'all are having a great day, great week, whatever. I gotta be honest though, my week is pretty bad. If you watched my last video, you'll see my heat treat oven pretty much took a crap on me. So, yeah. But I do got new elements and I've got the refractory cement, so that should all be pretty good. So I'm happy about that. But all right, well, let's get this going. So if you're watching the repost of this, remember to leave comments down below. You know, let me know what you think. If you have any ideas for future live streams or comments on this one or any of that good stuff. And oh, another big thing, if you watch my last video at the end, I said that I had affiliate links with UK and Canada, but I realized that's only on my website. It's, you know, it's not for YouTube. They don't have it figured out for YouTube yet, so yeah. So the affiliate links are only for the US still, if you go down in the comments. All right. Well, we're back on this. I think we left off at 600 grit, so I have some 600 grit here somewhere. We'll start this up. Got some Windex to keep it cool down. All right, man. I gotta tell you, it's been a crazy week. Yeah, then I went to edit the video, and for some reason, my camera was stuck on cinema, you know, like a cinema feature. So I had to try to fix that as best as I could, and man, this week was definitely a setback. Didn't get much done, just had a bad week. But there's always next week, right? So hopefully we can do good with that one. Whew. Yeah, so one thing I'm always talking about, you know, I'm like giving advice and all that on these live streams, but mainly it's self-reflection and, you know, basically what I look at myself and see how I am with myself. So, but you know, if it reaches one person or one person can relate, then, you know, it's all worth it. And, yeah, that's the important part. So, don't think I'm telling you what to do with your life or how you have to live your life. What's up, Billy? Don't think it's working. What's not working? Oh, thanks. Yeah. In fact, I just went to 900 subs. Just passed. I think I'm at like 901 right now. Is the live stream not working? No, it seems to be working. Let me see. Yeah, I got it. Okay, just checking. I gotta wait for like the 10-second delay, so sorry about that. Yeah. Just past 900 subs, so we're getting there. Slowly but surely, we're getting there. So I really appreciate it, you guys. Really means a lot. That's awesome. Whew. Yeah, that's one thing I'd like to build this community, so, you know, so you guys can tell me what's going on, or we can all kind of help each other out, you know, whether it's knife making or anything, really. You know, the live stream isn't, you know, I'm sitting here hand sanding because I hate hand sanding knives, and it's a good time to get that work done. But, yeah, anything you want to talk about's fine. Man, one thing I noticed about this, I got to sandblast it because look at all these spots and stuff. It's like, yeah, it has all these spots, and back here the stonewash looks good, and So, yeah. You know, it's funny. I'm always talking about how I do things backwards. If you go back and watch last week's live stream, I had the washers under here, which made it all off balance. And all I would have had to do is put this like that and pop. No, all right, all right, all right. Whew. Oh, the message didn't work. Okay. Good, 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 good. All righty, so let's get into this. Yeah, so I have this habit of, well, I said in one of my streams, I'm either all on or all off. So I have this tendency of, like, overworking and only, like, sleeping 2 or 3 hours and then get up and work harder and harder and harder and just keep working. And then the next week, I'm completely burned out and barely get anything done. And so, yeah, you know, that's the one thing about this, you know, I said overcoming failure. For me, it's not really like failing at like making knives or failing at, you know, skill stuff. For me, it's like failing at time management and, you know, figuring out how to get on a good sleep schedule, or, you know, managing my time so I'm editing videos a little bit of the day and, you know, doing knife making a little bit of the day and playing my music a little bit of the day. It's either like I'm like spending like 6 or 7 hours doing knife making and then editing till 3 in the morning, and man, and I'm just like burn myself out. And then the next week I don't get anything done. And man, I don't know, you know, I don't know how else to do it though. So the good thing is last week, you know, my oven crapped out and editing and all that, but I didn't really get a lot accomplished in my mind. You know, I still made a couple more songs and got a bunch of stuff done, not as knife making, but, you know, hopefully next week I can get a whole bunch of knife making stuff. I've already got the new elements in and some new refractory cement. So I'm going to rebuild my oven, and I'm thinking I'm going to put 6 lanes on each side instead of 4. That way it'll, you know, get up to temperature a lot faster. Yeah, you haven't been working on it for 2 months. You know, we all got to go at our own pace. You know, you got to, when you can work, you know, priorities are a big thing. You know, some people have other priorities other than knife making in their hobbies, and they can't spend as much time on it. As long as you're getting it done and having fun doing it, that's the important part. So, yeah. You know, it's a hard balancing game, you know. A lot of people want to do more hobby stuff, but, you know, they got family. See, that's one thing I kind of, well, it's a double-sided sword because, you know, I take care of my mom 24/7, so I'm always here. But it also means I never go out. I never get to do anything. My going out is going to the grocery store for a half an hour so I can be back here to make sure mom, you know, okay. You know, she's been in bed for 2 or 3 years, paralyzed on the right side, can't speak and all that. So, you know, without me, she's helpless. So I've got to be here 24/7. And that's my first priority. But then I've got time to make videos and make knives and all that. So, you know, if your priority is family or work, then taking two months to make a knife, hey, you know, that's actually doing good. So, whew. All right. Yeah, so back to the last week and my oven and all that. You know, it wasn't as productive as I would have liked it to be with the knife and all that. But one thing I did learn and figured out was how to take my YouTube videos and put them on Instagram TV. So now if you follow me on Instagram, and like a lot of people do everything from their phone now. You know, they they don't go to their computer. So now you can watch all my videos like in full screen on Instagram. Let me see if I can pull it up here. But yeah. So you just go up to here where, you know, the little TV part. Hit my name.
Welcome to the show.
Look at that.
Hope you're having a great day. Let's get on this. Time for some CPM 3V and some AEBL steel. All right. Here we go.
Man, it takes a lot of editing to do those because you only get, you know, on YouTube, you got 19 by 1080. But on Instagram TV, it's the opposite. It's 1920 by 1080. So you got to shift everything and you got to hit position. So you got to move the screen to go back and forth to put yourself in frame and the knife in frame and all that. But I got to figure it out. So if you do everything on your phone, watching YouTube is okay, but it's not as good watching it on the phone. So if you go to Instagram, you can watch them there, which is pretty cool. Or if you do videos, you know, if you make YouTube videos yourself, man, I think Instagram TV is going to blow up. Now, if you have 10,000 followers, you can do like an hour stream or an hour video. But I don't have 10,000 followers, so I can only do 10 minutes at a time. So I'll just cut my videos up into like part 1 and part 2. I've already got like 6 videos up. So, like I said, last week wasn't productive as knife making, but, you know, I got 6 videos up on that on a new platform. So, you know, that's the funny thing. I say I didn't get anything done, but, you know, I wrote 2 songs and played drums and all that. So, for me not getting anything done, you know, it means I just didn't accomplish what I wanted to accomplish. Whew. So let's see what some other topics. Oh, so the funny thing is, you know, not a lot of people show up on these live streams, but the people that do show up, you know, you guys mean a lot to me. But every time I do one, I'm like, man, these aren't going the way I think they should be going or whatever. Or, you know, my ego gets a little bruised and I start getting down on myself and I realize, man, it's like been, what, 2 months I've been doing this? Any other job, I would still be like a major apprentice. So you know, it's that hypocrite part of me. You know, I tell you guys, oh, if you're learning a new skill, just take it easy and all that. But to tell people, other people, is easy. To put it into practice for myself isn't always as easy. But, you know, you don't feel like doing it. And sometimes I don't feel like, you know, this morning, all morning, I was like, oh, man, I'm never going to get this, man. I just don't feel like doing it. Jumped in the shower, got all cleaned up. Boom, let's get this set up and going. It's time to do it. So, yeah. That's another, you know, that's the overcoming failure part. When you just feel like you're not accomplishing what you want to accomplish, you know, and getting things done like you want to, you just, you know, also, you know, there's also where you're not getting things done because you're burning yourself out, you know, so you got to kind of realize, do I need to take a break and step back, or do I just need to push myself to do more? With me, it's both. Yeah, I've got to figure out, I've either got to figure out time management or I need to get more time in the day. One or the other. Third knife. Man, I think I've shared my first couple of knives on here. Believe me, that's awesome. I'd like to see it, you know. That's one thing. If you guys got knives or something, my email's in the description. You know, the thing is, Jeremy from Simple Little Life, he has the new knife makers' knives or viewers' knives and stuff like that, so I wouldn't want to take his idea, but I'd love to see your guys' work, you know, especially if it's something that you learned from me or just something you're starting to learn. Or even if you have a question or a problem like, hey, I can't overcome this, I can't guarantee I'll be able to solve that problem. Sorry, my ADD, I'm trying to read. Yeah, Shepherd's Forge Heath, he's a good dude. Hey, if you don't have time to catch the live stream, they get reposted. So, you know, I understand if you can't watch it. That's cool. You can watch it on the repost if you want to, or, you know, either way. It's appreciated when you do. Oh, man, I lost my train of thought completely. Oh, man. That's the funny thing about these live streams. You can't stop and edit. But, let's see. I guess I'll just have to move on to something else. I know I was talking about stepping back and doing more and all that, but oh well. We'll move on to something else. I was watching, I told you in the last couple of videos, if you haven't watched, or the last couple of live streams, I've been watching Gary Vee. And he talks about when you're an entrepreneur, it's not like working a job for someone else because you have to take accountability. You know, you're the only one to blame. And it's funny because, most parents, when you're a kid or growing up, they always want to blame your friends for any trouble or anything bad you get into or anything that goes wrong. They're like, oh, you don't want to hang out with him. He's a bad influence. And, my parents always taught me accountability. They always push, you got to take responsibility for your actions. It wasn't, oh, he's a bad influence. It's, you're a bad influence, You make your decisions and, what you do to other people, around other people counts for you. No one else, People don't get you in trouble. You get yourself in trouble. Now, this might have happened or this might have happened, but you're the one that put yourself in that spot to get in trouble. And, yeah, and that's how they've always been. They always taught me accountability. You got to be accountable for your actions. No one else made you do things. Okay, so you were in this spot and your friend stole something and you got in trouble for it. Well, you put yourself in that spot to be, what your friend does. It's not the choice of friends, but if you see someone stealing and you don't walk away, you're just, and you get caught. Hey, a lot of people, I got a lot of, I see a lot of people that smoke weed and all this, and they're like, oh, I can't get anywhere in life. Well, yeah, you got to make that choice. Do you enjoy doing what you're doing? And if you do, that's fine, but don't complain that you're not getting anywhere. And blaming, it's like, that's one of the things about failure I used to do a lot. I would almost make myself fail so I had an excuse. It's easier to make an excuse, oh, I can't do this or I didn't do this. It's like you're making yourself fail so you have an excuse that you don't have to push on and try harder or make something more of yourself. And I was guilty of this for a long time. I always wanted to blame, or make excuses, not blame. I wanted to make excuses. And if there was something I didn't want to do, I would do it bad and be like, oh, well, I can't do this or this, that. And it would, be my excuse to get out of it instead of, putting forth the effort and actually getting it done. I need a towel or something. Oh. But yeah, so accountability is a big thing. You know, it doesn't matter if you're the boss, if you run your own company, or if you're an employee, you know. And you know, I've said this before. People, one of my biggest pet peeves is when you're at a job and people say, "Oh, that's not my job." You know, that drives me crazy. We're all here together. Everything, this whole thing, we got to get it done. So it's all our jobs. You know, don't go to work with the attitude, "I'm just here to make money." No, you're here to take pride in what you do. I don't care if you're flipping burgers at McDonald's. Flip the best burgers you can. You know, it carries on. It's not just it's not just what you're doing right now. It's discipline to make you better. You know, my biggest problem with discipline is, like I say, time management and sleeping good and, you know, getting on that schedule. And it's something I try to work with, you know, and I have a big problem with it. You know, the social thing and all that, you know, I started watching Gary Vee so I can learn marketing and learn how to be social. And I've been commenting and trying to put myself out there a lot more. And it's very uncomfortable. I'm not comfortable doing it. But I am learning how to do it better. You know? It's hard for me, to say the least. Oh. And, you know, the funny thing is, when I was a kid, you know, I did really good in school, but I was a real bad cut up, you know. I got in trouble, but I wasn't a troublemaker, if that makes sense. Like, you know, I would do things that were funny and get in trouble, but I didn't do them in a like, way that would hurt people, other than myself. Yeah, but, you know, I didn't like studying what they had in school. I'd study my own books. I'd bring my own stuff to school and study. But I'd get bored and I'd start doing stuff that would get me in trouble. And I love pushing limits, you know. And, you know, and that's with anything, you know. I was always pushing limits with everything. But I will say, you know, I'm 47 years old. I don't even have a misdemeanor on my record. All my friends, you know, I learn from my friends. I have a lot of friends that are either dead or in jail, you know, that did really bad stuff, and you learn, hey, you know, I don't want to go down that road. And, you know, there's two ways to look at life. You either, you know, learn from other people's mistakes, or you learn from your own mistakes. So, you know, you know, having fun and cutting up is one thing, but hurting other people in the action, you know, is completely different. So, and you got to know when those limits, you know, when to stop. And, yeah, I've got a lot of friends that have been to prison or in jail right now, and a couple that are dead, you know. So, fun times can end badly. You know, well, I've said before, you know, when in '96, my guitarist died. Basically, you know, I watched him die. You know, and I quit music for 15 years. It ruined my life. But, you know, we were just crazy, and we thought we were indestructible. You know, nothing could touch us. But you learn quick, it does. Yeah, it's a hard lesson to learn, too. Real hard lesson. You know, people going to jail is one thing, because they'll get out in a few months or a few years, but, you know, when you watch your friend die, it's definitely not fun. You know, I said that, I guess, on the last live streamer before. If you would have seen me from like 25 to 16, I was a party animal, you know, and did a lot of stupid things, but, you know, I was also driven in music. You know, music was everything to me. That's all I did. I used to practice guitar 10 hours a day. I'm not kidding either. Guitar 10 hours a day, and then when practice was at my house, I'd play drums 4 or 5 hours a day. Music was everything, you know. My whole life was music, bands and everything. And, you know, if you go to my music channel, you can see like old live shows. And the guy with long hair, he's the one that died. And then I quit. You know, that one song, I think I said that before, that 20 Years Down, that whole song about, you know, how you live your life thinking everything's going to be great, you know, and you put everything into something. You put your whole life into something, and boom, it's gone. And it's like, what do you do now? And you stop caring, and, you know, you can go down a really bad hole, you know. You know, but, all right. Let's get off that topic. That's kind of depressing. Sorry about that. And, oh, here's one. What other people think, you know. Now, there's two sides of what other people think, you know. There's the positive and there's the negative, you know. And I've told you about, if you've watched my previous videos, I've talked about the guy that got me into knife making. Excuse me. Every knife I make, I show him, and he tears them apart. I mean, every little thing, he'll show me what's wrong. And that's, you know, that's the positive part of what people think. Because it took my knife making from like nothing to like, you know, perfection. You know, my knives aren't perfect, but they're as perfect as I can get them. Especially now that I'm hand sanding. Yeah, man. That's one thing good about these live streams. I can start hand sanding. But, you know, what took me a long time to decipher about that, his feedback, was his opinion and what he looked at. Because a lot of the things, some of the things, I won't say a lot of things, some of the things he'd point out was his taste in knives. And those things I didn't have to change because they weren't wrong with the knife. It's just something he didn't like because, you know, that wasn't his taste. So I didn't have to fix that. But all the little things, imperfections, and man, it stung. You know, I'd be like, oh man, I've done so well on this knife. And I'd hand it to him. He'd be like, what about this? What about this? What about this? And I'd be like, oh, and man, it hurt. And you get mad and you get upset. But then you fix it. And you move on and you get better. But then there's negative, you know, what other people think. You know, usually it's jealousy, you know. Either people are miserable and want to make you miserable, or they're jealous and they want to make you feel bad for being better. And, you know, instead of getting down about it, you gotta like step back and realize if it's people are saying it to help you or to hurt you. You know, one thing, you know, the more, I've said this before, the more subscribers I get, the more haters I get. And I love it. Man. One guy commented on the McMaster Car Parks 50 video, and he's like, what does the W stand for in W2? I'm sure it's not McMaster Car Parks, because W2 is water quench steel. And, you know, he might have just been saying that as, you know, a joke, which is fine. You know, it's funny. But he could have also been like, you know, oh, you're not doing this right, which is fine too. So, you know, you just got to, in fact, it might not have even been a hateful comment, you know. And so, you know, that's one of the hard things about YouTube and being online is deciphering what people say. And because you can say something and it can have so many meanings and people just take it out of context. I've done it myself. I've read people's comments and been like, oh, and get all mad. And you start this big fight when you realize you're not even fighting, or it wasn't even a mean comment or meant bad. You just read it wrong, and that's how it goes. Wow, I've been ranting for a half an hour already. I haven't even got to half of my topics. And I haven't even got to a higher grid and sandpaper. Let's go up to some 1200 while we're here. See, like today, one guy showed up. But that's awesome, because that one guy makes it all worth it. You know? I could be bummed that, oh man, all these people, but, you know, I realize people have lives. And people, you know, have to do things that are, you know, for themselves and have their own priorities. You know, I can be bummed out. I can be like, oh, see, this is the end of this whole week. My oven got messed up and the video went wrong. Now no one's even showing up for my live stream. Oh, man, see, it's not worth it and blah, blah, blah. You know, but no, you know, I've got to realize and tell myself, well, hey, people have priorities and other obligations, and they can always watch it on the repost and, you know, do other things. And it's these little things, you know. And then next week, you know, if I was to quit the live stream, you know, next week might be a great week, and then I would have missed out, or who knows. You know, look at that. What, 2 weeks ago, Niels Vandenberg showed up and said, hey, that was awesome. So, you know, you just gotta stick with things, you know, and, you know, but then there's also the side, if you're not, if, you know, you gotta be honest with yourself about stuff too. If you're not putting your heart into it and it doesn't feel right, it's all right to stop doing it and find another passion, you know? Like I said a couple weeks ago, you know, I tried to do guitar lessons. You know, I know everything. Well, I don't know everything about music. I take that back. But I know enough about music where I could teach other people. But when I tried to do guitar lessons, I was horrible at it. And I wasn't passionate enough about it to try to get better. You know, I'm sure I could have kept going and getting better and better, but I didn't like it. It just didn't feel right. You know, that's one thing I like about these live streams. They really help me, and hopefully they'll help someone else. You know, that would be awesome if just one or two people walk away is like, man, I can completely relate to that. And yeah, that is what I can do to help myself. Then that's all worth it. It makes all this worth it. You know, definitely. Man, hormones starting to come out. I got to get the flints. This is 1200. I'm going to go up to, I never really mirror polish any of my stuff. So I'm going to try to take this up to at least like a 2000, see how much of a mirror. I can see myself in it, so it's definitely a satin shine, but it's not a mirror yet. That's one thing. That's one thing I've always made excuses for. Am I using the wrong? Look at me. I'm sanding with the, no wonder it's so smooth. I'm sanding with the wrong side of the sandpaper. Talk about doing things backwards. Good Lord. I thought that felt awful smooth. Oh, man. I was like, oh, it's time to go up in grit. That's all nice and smooth. Here I am sanding with the back of the sandpaper. Yeah, man. Talk about getting things backwards. Good Lord. Yeah, that's more like it. But, yeah. Nice. All right, let's do this other side. You know, oh, yeah. You know, I always made excuses like, oh, I don't like a mirror finish. They leave too many fingerprints and all that and blah, blah, blah. And honestly, I just don't have the patience to do it. It's not that I don't like it, it's I don't have the patience. So I don't care if it takes me 2 months to finish this knife. I'm going to get a mirror polisher as close as I can to it. The hormone looks real nice on it, so. But yeah, finishing work, I'm horrible at. And that's one thing I definitely have to improve with my knife making, is my finish work. I always stone wash it and dip it, or sandblast it or whatever, because it does look good. And I do like sandblast it and stone wash finishes, but a lot of the reason is I don't want to spend the extra time and sit there and hand sand. So, yeah. I can't believe I was using the back of the sandpaper. If you didn't watch last week, this is just Duo 70. It's the same thing they put on contact wheels. Because I was going to make my own contact wheels. Like I got some 1-inch aluminum. Like some, it was like 5-inch by 1-inch aluminum. And some like 5-inch by 2-inch aluminum that I'm going to put on my lathe. And someday make my own contact wheels. So I'll have like a 4-inch and like a 2-inch or whatever. And then you put this on the outside of it. It's the Duo 70. And that's what's like on all your contact wheels. You know, some of it has ridges in it, but it's mostly Duo 70. So it's nice flex for putting the sandpaper down and getting it all straightened out. Whew. Man, that's 40 minutes I've been talking. All right. I think that's about it for this one then. I'll sit here and finish this off camera. So remember, sorry if you watched my last video and you saw that I said the UK and Canada links for Amazon, I don't have them. Maybe I'll put them up on my website or figure something out, but you know, that seems like such a hassle. You have to sit there and click onto my website and then find the affiliate link and click on that. Most people aren't going to do that. But I guess I will put it up on my website. So if you do go to my website, it'll be there. Oh, that's one thing. You know, I study a lot of different YouTubers to get tips on how to make my page better. And I was watching this live stream and I had him, you know, I went on a super chat and gave him like $5 and he told me what to do to, you know, improve my website or my homepage for my YouTube. So go check out my YouTube channel homepage. I redesigned the whole thing. Like every little thing he said, like my thumbnail's new and, you know, the whole page is different. So that's pretty awesome. Yeah, if you get into YouTube, I guess his name's Nick Nimmin. Nimmin or something like that, Nick. But just put how to do better YouTube videos, and he'll probably come up in like the first search. So yeah, check out my channel. If you like hardcore music or you want to watch my old live, you know, before my arm was messed up, there's a bunch of live shows. I wasn't playing guitar; I was playing bass on most of it. But yeah, it's some good music. Go check that out. Affiliate links are below. I got 2 or 3 knives up on my site. I don't promote them enough, but they're there. And, oh, thanks to Martin, MS Blades. He traded me a Wicked Edge for, I had like a Platin and a few other things. He asked me, because he's trying to build a 2x72 grinder. So we traded. And he gave me a Wicked Edge, and I gave him that. Pretty awesome deal. So, alright. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe. Check out my pages. Go to Instagram. If you're on your phone, go to Instagram, watch the videos on IGTV or watch the videos here, whichever you prefer. 900 subs, man. Close. Almost to that knife giveaway. Oh, let me see if I can, hold on. I always forget to tell this. But here it is. Got some goop on it. Check it out. Ba-boom. When I get to 1,000 subs, one of you guys are getting this. Yeah, man. Ooh, I got goop on both sides of this. I gotta put this thing up. But I'm gonna black oxide it and all that. It's been done. So yeah, 1,000 subs. This is what it is. This is a knife one of you all are getting. I'll be talking about it more the closer I get to 1,000 subs. So yeah, I gotta clean it up now. It's gotten all dirty and stuff. Because this has been a bad week. Of course this is dirty. Alright. Thanks for watching. Please, if you're watching the repost, remember to comment and give me some ideas, or, join the community and let's discuss everything and get everything going. So I hope you guys have a great day. I hope next week's good for you all, me included. Thanks for watching. And as always, take it easy.